Ever-changing, untouched landscapes in the green of winding valleys make Umbria a region that will never fail to amaze. This region comprises mainly hills, mountains, hollows and plains and extends along the Tiber's central basin. At the heart of the boot, it is the only region with no coastline. It includes Lake Trasimeno, central Italy's largest lake. The area still has the remains of Etruscan settlements, particularly around Castiglione del Lago, where the loveliness of the natural landscape combines with the romanticism and stillness of the lake. Moving on from the two lakes, we come to the Cascade del Marmore waterfalls near Terni, some of the most beautiful in Europe. The waters dive into the river Nera with a spectacular 165 m, 541 feet, drop, and are surrounded by lush vegetation. This is the spot for sports lovers who enjoy canoeing, kayaking, and not only. Still in the province of Terni, tourists looking to get the feel of Umbria should not miss out on two little gems. One of them is linked to history and the other to the territory. Carceli is an ancient Roman town traversed by the ancient Via Flaminia, where important public buildings have been discovered. We can still see the remains of the S. Damiano Arch, with particularly beautiful and fascinating surroundings. The other gem, closely linked to the area's makeup, is the Dunaraba fossil forest, a rare example of a forest that existed 3 million years ago, with very well-preserved tree trunks set in a lunar landscape. The provinces of the region are Perugia, regional capital, and Terni. The charm of Umbria derives from its fusion of art, nature, peace, and calm, the inspirations behind its various localities that comprise Renaissance masterpieces and small medieval towns embedded in the hills. Gubbio is one of these, the oldest village in Umbria that reached its full splendor in the Middle Ages. The cathedral, the consul's palace, symbol of the town, and the ducal palace are just some of the attractions that testify to Gubbio's status as a jewel of Umbria. Gubbio not only attracts visitors with its art, but also with its spectacular traditional festivals like the Corsa dei Ciri, Candle Race, and the Palio Balestra, a medieval crossbow contest on horseback. The former takes place in honor of the patron saint, the latter in memory of its ancient past. Another of the countless charming Umbrian cities is Orvieto, with its famous Duomo, one of the masterpieces of Italian Gothic art, and St. Patrick's Well, a 62-meter deep, 203 feet of engineering characterized by two spiral staircases that wind around the well, yet never meet, with 248 steps down to the water. Then Spoleto, a picturesque town that boasts a 1,000-year-old history, still preserves images from the past in its medieval and Renaissance architecture. Its stone lanes and its most famous monuments are the setting for international cultural events, such as the Festival of the Two Worlds, a wonderful occasion for enjoying a high-quality artistic atmosphere. Between art and spirituality, a visit to the medieval town of Assisi is essential. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, it represents a series of masterpieces of man's creative spirit. Everything revolves around its most renowned citizen, Saint Francis, patron saint of Italy, from the basilica, which is dedicated to the saint and contains his tomb, to the hermitage, Eremo del Carceri, a few kilometers outside the town walls, where Saint Francis used to retreat in prayer. Assisi is very welcoming and lively, and its inhabitants seem to want to share their age-old traditions with visitors. Calendamaggio, for instance, is a splendid historical commemoration that turns Assisi into an old medieval town inhabited by knights and ladies, bowmen and standard-bearers that belong to a distant, far-off past. Perugia, Umbria's main city, dates back to antiquity and is composed of a higher section on the hill, whence the medieval villages spread out on its slopes. The historic center teems with cultural and architectural masterpieces, with one of the most extensive museum collections in Italy. With its vibrant cultural center, 2 universities, and internationally influential expos, Perugia is a great draw for tourists that also offers a cosmopolitan atmosphere. Set like a gem in the heart of Italy, Umbria is perfect for those who love nature and want to discover its woods, castles, sanctuaries and, why not, Assisi and Spello, right up to the slopes of Mount Subasio. Near Terni, the Cascade del Marmore waterfalls attract visitors from every part of Europe. not only for the splendor of their waters but also for the possibilities to canoe and kayak, and for the child-friendly itineraries that include exciting tours through the Umbrian terrain. Another charming route in timeless places is that of faith and spirituality, following in the footprints of the region's most celebrated citizens, Saint Francis of Assisi, Saint Clare, and Saint Benedict of Norcia. Walking along the Via Francigena of Saint Francis, you will see boundless landscapes through an intimate perspective, and enjoy the company of other pilgrims at the same time. Along the way are various places to stay and to eat. Another possible itinerary is through the famous wine trails that will satisfy all five senses by way of nature, taste, history, and traditions. Besides the obvious wine tasting, one can take part in food and wine traditions and admire the old crafts of ceramics, glass, and wood, typical artisan goods with ancient origins. Visiting oil presses will give vacationers the opportunity to appreciate the olive oil culture of this region, the pride of all the grove cultivators and oil presses producing Umbrian quality olive oil. Umbria, a small region with great tastes, satisfies all palates. The best dish for meat lovers is pork, masterfully treated by Umbrian butchers who turn the meat into delicacies like sausages, tasty hams, and salami, like those of Norcia, to eat with unsalted bread that brings out the taste. The best of Umbria's cheeses are mature pecorino sheep's cheese and fresh or ripe goat's milk cheese. The lentils of Castelluccio di Norcia, a tasty ingredient for soups, main courses, or side dishes, were awarded the PGI mark by the European Union, Protected Geographical Indication. This rich array of dishes goes hand in hand with the genuine quality of the products, including the truffle, the most precious of all. The most common variety is the black truffle, very popular with pasta or with game, especially in the area of Norcia and Spoleto, but more valuable white truffles can be found as well, particularly in the Tiberina Valley, Orvieto, and Gubbio. Everything is seasoned with the golden and fruity olive oil produced in this region, which enhances any dish without upstaging the flavor. Umbrian oil of high quality is awarded with a PDO quality mark, protected designation of origin. For dessert, you must try the typical Umbrian cake, pan pepito, and other regional desserts made according to centuries-old recipes. Finally, Umbria is particularly suitable for wine growing, and its mild climate gives this land top-quality white and red wines, including, among the many well-known labels, Assisi Grechetto and Sagrantino di Montefalco.